Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.
Yesterday we were talking about grudges, and specifically we were talking about the grudge that 50 Cent and Ja Rule have had since 1999. It's an ongoing feud, and we wanted to hear about Adelaide's grudges. You know, it could have been with someone from your primary school. It could have been with a celebrity. And what came to our surprise is there were a few people that had beef with Ja Rule himself, especially this guy, Armin from Burnside, called up, had this to say.
Back in 2003, my brother was actually DJing at the after party for Ja Rule. Yep. Unfortunately, he played in the club by 50 Cent. Ja Rule and his whole posse came down for VIP, grabbed his vinyl off the turntable, snapped it, and had a few choice words to say to him.
Yeah. It was a weird one to find out, especially with the ratio of people that had specifically had bad interactions with Ja Rule. Like, why Ja Rule? And why are people in Adelaide getting into fights with him? It just seems so bizarre.
No one in Adelaide is living it up with Ja Rule.
Literally. I mean, it makes me question how unlike Ja Rule is across the sphere, like across, Australia, America, between, regular Joes and celebrities.
Yeah, absolutely. And it got us thinking about, sort of beefs with celebrities, because they're always kind of funny.
I mean, there's always something that happens. There was just the other week, there was a pretty horrendous one between a TMZ reporter, a bit of a nobody, that got into a bit of a scruffle with Kanye.
Yeah, here's how it went down.
What is her name? What is this lady's name?
I'm just a reporter.
No, you're not just a reporter. What's your first and last name?
I'm Melanie.
Melanie what? What's your address? What you make a year?
It's a bit muffled because just before this interaction, Kanye snatched the phone out of her hands and is holding it in his hands.
It was insane.
But basically, he's like, what's your name? Where do you live?
Yeah, well, asking where you live is just a step far, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty scary
You
stuff.
would be worried. You'd be like, well, this guy has the means to, do something bad.
But what we want to do now, Adelaide, is find out, is there anyone listening that has beef with a celebrity? It doesn't matter if this celebrity doesn't even know you have beef with them. We're going to cross over to our phone lines. Friend of the show, Yola from the Barossa Valley. Good morning. How are you?
Hi, boys. How are you?
Very good.
Very well, Yola. Now, who's the beef with the celebrity and why?
So, my neighbor's son, he's got a business, running business. He's setting up the stages for concerts. The company is Next Stage.
Okay.
And two years back, they had a Snoop Dogg playing,
Snoop
and they never paid for using the stage.
Wow. Okay,
Snoop
so
Dogg did not pay for the stage to be made that he performed on.
No.
Yola,
No.
how did they not pay for it? Did they just leave and up the country? Did they just go into the next place? Like, where's the transaction?
Yeah, they did, but my neighbor, the mother of the person who runs the company, she told me that probably was not, maybe Snoop Dogg doesn't even know about it, but it's probably the management, but they never received the money. So there were big loss.
Right, okay.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I mean,
Snoop Dogg
Snoop D-O-double-G, not paying for the stage. Hey, Yola, thanks for getting involved. We appreciate it.
No worries. Have a good day.
You too.
Is that not a huge thing with celebrities that have so much money that it seems like they pay the least
They
for
seem
things?
to never pay for things. Yeah, I will back you there. Hey, we've got another friend of the show, Cara from Glenelg North. Good morning. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. I've still got a bit of a trigger warning because, this did happen to me when I was a child. So, Sarah cheated.
Yeah, who's the beef with?
So what happened was I was very young. I was auditioning for movies and ads and things like that. And I auditioned for this movie and they were really excited. And they said, look, it's actually a speaking role. We'd really like to, get you in on that, blah, blah, blah. And then I got a call. Well, my mum got a call a little bit later saying, unfortunately, we've already cast a curly-haired woman in one of the lead roles, so we can't have you in a support role because your look is very similar. And I went, oh, my God, major film. And then I see it come out, Nicole Kidman stole my spot.
Wow. Holy crap. So you were toe-to-toe with Nicole Kidman.
I mean, that's something to be proud of on its own. But, yeah, another reason to have beef with her as well, I suppose, Cara.
Mega beef. Look at her career.
That could have been you. Hey,
and I work in an office.
Hey, Cara, we hope this makes you feel a little better. We're going to double pass to the Sammy D Adelaide Comedy Gala coming your way.
Yay! That will make me feel better.
Tom, we try and give the robots a little bit of slack. You know, we talk about them overtaking the world with AI and things like that, and then we see them do something good in the media. We say, hey, maybe the robots aren't so bad.
We will always bow down on this show to our robo overlords, so when they do eventually take over, you know, we can be a part of it.
Yeah.
The Robot-Revolution, we're with the robots.
Oh, 100%, because, you know, this audio will be saved.
Yeah, you got to take the winning side. And we all know the winning side is the robots.
So we are declaring ourselves right now that, yes, we are not talking smack about your technology. We
Absolutely
are only
not.
praising it.
I plan on getting the Elon Musk chip so I can be part of the robots.
We just want to be a part of this.
Yeah.
Don't exclude us out of the mayhem. But, Tom, it's really interesting with some further news in AI. It's come over the last few days. So, obviously, you know, we've seen advances in ChatGPT, creating fake pictures and things like that based on text. You know, chuck in a sentence, show me a dog on a skateboard, and it will show you that in picture form. Now it's a bit more advanced. We are getting videos.
Video? Okay.
And not just videos, because I think they've tried to do that before, but it's been a lot more advanced. It's a new program called Sora, and it's looking at these really advanced graphic pictures, videos.
Now, when you say videos, are we talking like, you know, content creators? Like robots are doing YouTube videos now? They're doing the try not to laugh challenge and stuff like that?
Well, you know what's funny?
What kind of videos are they doing?
One of the first videos that Sora made, and it's become quite public, is two dogs doing a podcast.
Right.
And they had these mics in front of them.
Do they bark or do they speak in English?
I don't think they bark. No, it's just like a blanket kind of video, just them sitting there, you know, looking around. They're moving, though.
That'd be a bloody boring podcast.
It would be a bit. But, they're moving, and that's the point, that it's creating these ultra-realistic videos.
Yeah, okay.
With, you know, about 60-second long videos with text instructions that you give. We're getting stuff like vehicles driving on the road, you know, realistic videos of people, humans. That it's only going to get more and more advanced. But what people are really scared of now, which is the big problem, not that we're scared, Tom, because we think this is great technology.
When they're doing videos of dogs doing podcasts, they're doing videos of humans. Are the humans doing like dog things?
No,
the dogs are walking humans on leashes and stuff?
No, that's not the point of Sora. That is not the point. Don't get hung up on the dog podcasting. That's just something that some idiot made.
Not move past the dogs doing a podcast.
I have no idea who made the dog in the podcast thing.
What are the cats doing? Are they doing like television shows?
No, it's all normal. But Tom, what's scary is that if you combine one of these videos with a fake video of someone, so say I get a fake video of you, a programmer, I'm like, give me Tom doing like burgling.
Let's not put ideas in people's heads.
But say I do like something like you doing something embarrassing. Tom wets his pants.
Yeah,
great. I've got that made up.
Then you don't have that video. I've deleted it. That doesn't exist anymore.
But I can put your voice as well with voice cloning on AI on top of that. So it seems ultra realistic, and then you send that around and people will think you're actually doing it. So it's pretty much, the scary thing is that people in academia or business or government, politicians, are now fearful because this idea that you could create a fake video of them with them talking in their voice and things like that. So there has to be something to go against that and prevent it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've just had a bit of a thought here. Is this not going to be like, you know, you could have a real video leaked of you in the future doing something like wetting yourself or, you know, something horrendous. And you could just say it was AI, could you not?
I suppose you could do it the reverse way. So in a way, it like says, hey, you could get incriminated for not doing something, but if you actually do something embarrassing, you could pin it on the AI for sure.
Kanye West is actually saying, like, these are all fake videos coming out of it.
Yeah.
You know, when people tell you about coincidences that happen to them, it's kind of like listening to someone's dream, right? Unless you're in it, you don't really care.
Yeah, sure. Unless it's hard hitting. It has to meet some criteria where you have a checkbook and you're like, okay, yeah, location was good, time setting was good. Yeah, that's a good quinky dink.
But I do want to talk about a coincidence I had, and I want the Fresh fam in a moment to text in their coincidences, and we will give it the reaction that they deserve.
Sure, yeah.
Wholeheartedly. So the other day, I was driving down North Terrace, right? Got my windows down, naturally, because my car doesn't have an air conditioner. Got the bass up, you know, got Fresh 92.7 on, obviously, blasting it. But I'd just come out of a OTR.
Right.
And as I go into the OTR, I'm lining up to pay for the petrol, they have this playing in the background. Right.
Triumphant music to be playing as you pay for your petrol.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it's, In Excess, Australian classic. And I couldn't really get it out of my head.
Yeah, it's a classic. It's kind of sucks for you as a Crows supporter that it's... I know
it really does.
You have talked about how the song's a little bit ruined because it is a classic rock song, but for Crows fans, a bit of rivalry, can't get around it.
That's the thing. In the off-season of the AFL, I'm taking full advantage of listening to this song. So I've got this little doohickey that you can plug into your cigarette lighters in the old cars. And you can connect Bluetooth. And I'm just like, I'm driving down North Terrace. I'm nearly back at work. I'm like, nah, stuff it. I'm going to listen to this song. Otherwise, it's just going to be in my head all day.
Sure.
So I chuck it on. And, I'm nearly back at work at this point. And arguably, I'm getting to the best point in the song. It's this point.
And they could never tear us apart.
And when it comes in with the...
Of course.
I get this.
No, okay, so interrupting the key drums, the big build-up of the song.
I start freaking out. I'm like, what the hell? No, not like this
Not
far.
today. Not today.
Yeah, 30 seconds you could have given me. 30 seconds. So as I'm about to see who's calling, I'm very, I'm getting red in the face. I'm like, who the hell dares?
Obviously, they haven't done anything wrong intentionally.
Absolutely
but in
not.
your head in that moment, after you've shaken your fist at God, you think, who's the next person I'm going to attack? It's the person on the other end of this phone interrupting the key part of the song.
So I look at who it could be. I'm like, who the hell has called this number? And it's none other than 7-time premiership player George Fiarchi for the Port Magpies has called me. So now I'm starting to think, Christ, even in the off-season, I've got some superpower where, Port Adelaide affiliates are going to be calling me whenever I play Never Tear Us Apart by In Excess.
It's as if George Fiarchi has the bat signal in the sky. As soon as someone plays Never Tear Us Apart, he's like, I'm going to get in touch with my Port Adelaide roots and interrupt that one. They're calling me.
I want to open up the text line here, Adelaide. If you have any coincidence, doesn't matter how little, how small, or how big it is, text it in. What was your coincidence? And we'll give it the reaction that it properly deserves.
Oh, we'll pump it up. We love a good quinky dink here on the show.
Stop saying quinky dink. It's not going to become the next ball honky.
It will become the next ball honky.
Let's get into them. The first text here came through. Coincidence. I felt like pizza last night, and I mean a serious craving. I get to work this morning, and they say we're getting pizzas for lunch for a birthday. That's not even mine.
That's a great one.
Well, that is a coincidence. And enjoy your pizza lunch, pizza party.
Pizza party, nothing like it. Someone said, morning, fellas. My coincidence is I did the shopping last week, bought a new teeth whitening toothpaste that I left at the self-serve. That sucks. Yeah. Went to the dentist 2 days later, and she gave me a free toothpaste. It was the same one.
Wow.
Whoa. Holy crap.
Enjoy that free sample. I mean, I'm unlucky that you did pay for the other one and lost it, but... Congratulations. What a coincidence.
What a coincidence. Not only is it a great coincidence, but you get some great dental care.
That's why you go to the dentist, isn't it? Hey, got another text here. Got a saxophone stolen from me 25 years ago when I lived in Melbourne.
Bummer.
On the anniversary, exactly 20 years later on the day, I found it at a Cashie's here in Adelaide.
Wow.
Same serial number and everything.
Yes.
Snatched it up immediately. Who knows who put their lips on it? Who cares who put their lips on it? That is an absolute... Wow.
Awesome. Could have had the lips.
We better clap that one as well.
Imagine that. Imagine even more on the coincidence who put their lips on it. What a famous jazz saxophonist in Adelaide was sucking on that thing. We got this one here. Morning, my coincidence.
Let's move past that as quick as we can.
My coincidence was literally talking about Ja Rule with a friend over the weekend and what happened to him since living it up. And then,
To everybody that be living it up, we say.
and then tune into you guys to hear you talking about him 2 days in a row.
Now you know what's happened to Ja Rule, and it's nothing good. We've got one last coincidence here. My friend and I were on a road trip a few years ago and needed a place to stay. We both told each other we had a friend in the city we were going through, so we figured we'd be able to crash with one of them. Turns out our two friends were roommates and had both been telling each other that they had a friend coming to town soon.
That's nuts.
That's the coincidence of the day.
Coincidence and great accommodation situation, isn't it, Tom?
How fortunate. free food, one of the simple pleasures in life, don't you think?
Oh, definitely. How good is it? We've wanted to for quite a while see how many samples we can get at the nearest ice cream shop before they tell us off. That's a dream of ours to do that still.
One of these days, I will go down there and do that.
How many testers do you reckon? I reckon you could get through 20 until they're like,
20?
All right, hold on, mate. You're taking the piss.
I reckon double digits maybe, but I reckon you'd be capping out around 10.
Really? 10?
Yeah,
10.
yeah.
Right, well,
and I reckon there'll be questions before you hit the 10th as well. You'll have
What are
to
you
dodge.
doing?
You have to sidestep.
Why are you here?
Can you
please leave?
But, free food, what cost does it really come? Well, over in London, mate, they're dealing with sandwich gate at the moment.
Yeah.
Is what I'm labelling it. As a woman, she's been fired over taking a sandwich.
You're fired. Get out of here.
I mean, it seems like we're taking it back to the medieval times, doesn't it? The old...
You've stolen a bread roll.
I took a
death penalty for you.
Loaf of bread, head to the gallows. So this is a modern-day version of that. So she's taken a sandwich. Why is it such a big deal?
Well... It's not. That's really what they're trying to say. I mean, in a moment, I want the Fresh fam to tell us what they were fired for, and give yourself a chance to plead your case if you think it was a bit unfair. But this chick, Gabriella Rodriguez, she's a 39-year-old single mum living over in London, works for a cleaning company, and they're cleaning this big law firm, right? And there's this tray of sandwiches and stuff, and they were all due to be thrown out at the end of this meeting they were having, right? So there's leftover ones there, and she's been told in the past, I'll take a sandwich.
Yeah.
It's all good. So she's taken one without, thinking twice. No one's told her she could, but they're going to be thrown out. She's like, oh, stuff it. I'll take this tuna sanger. How good's that?
Well, you're probably not thinking in your head at the time, this would cost me my job.
No,
this
absolutely not.
This is a harmless little crime, isn't it?
Yeah, but then, lo and behold, she got fired, and she revealed the letter that her bosses sent her regarding her dismissal. And pretty much the letter reads, at the hearing, your explanation was that you found a sandwich in the kitchen near the end of your shift and took it without giving it a second thought. Then continued to say, considered your explanation to be unsatisfactory because you confirmed that no one had offered you the food in the kitchen, but you decided to take it anyway.
Yeah.
And so now there's all these protesters that are taking Gabriella's side, with sort of signs that are like, sacked for a sandwich. We aren't dirt, we clean.
Right. I think it's so insane that there has to even be protesters involved. Like, surely this just goes to a work rights authority or something, and they just investigate and say, she ate a sandwich, dude, chill out.
I mean, it's caused absolute pandemonium.
But why? Why? It shouldn't even be a thing. She should just rock up to work the next day and be like, this is
do a
bullshit.
George Costanza.
Yeah,
just keep working.
Just keep working, because there's nothing to say. Taking a sandwich can get nobody fired in any sort of capacity. Like, it's ridiculous.
I mean, the most ridiculous part of all of it is that the sandwich was there to be thrown out. The meeting was done. No one was taking it. It was her job to throw it out. So she's thought, well, no, I'll take the tuna sandwich for my lunch.
Do you reckon
Why not?
the boss had a gripe, like that person was eyeing off the sandwich and
he wanted the tuna.
Wanted it all day and thought, oh, lay low, I'll wait
if you
until
took
the last...
the chicken and avo, you would have been fine.
Yeah, but the salami, that's a no-go. I was eyeing that off for the last 4 hours.
What were you fired for, Adelaide? Give us a buzz now. And, if you think it was unfair, plead your case, and we'll try and back you.
I mean, we'll be the protesters on your side to say, hey, that's ridiculous. But the pettier the better. How did it happen?
Absolutely. Or do you know someone who got fired for a bit of a petty reason? Plenty of people getting involved at the moment. Over to the text line, somebody's texted in saying, morning boys, I got fired for having one too many drinks at the pub I worked at on my day off.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's a bit silly, isn't it?
It's a
On the
bit rough.
day off, you're not on the clock.
Absolutely
you're
not.
supposed to be completely responsible. I mean, it's a bit of a dicey one.
Yeah, nah, not about that. It's your day off. You can do what you like.
Exactly right. We got this one here. Got the boot from the pool bar I worked at because the boss caught me after hours using the queues as lightsabers with a mate after hours. Yes, there were drinks involved.
Hey, as long as no one got hurt and nothing was damaged, once again, don't see the problem with that one. Got another text here. Worked at a cafe and spilled coffee on a customer, then got fired. Jeez, you know what? That's just unlucky.
Harmless mistake. You don't intend to spill boiling coffee on a patron.
Absolutely not. That is pure unluckiness. And you know what? I bet you anything, that customer probably didn't mind and probably felt worse for the person bringing over the coffee.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. We want to keep hearing all the reasons why you got fired, Adelaide, on 0428 927 927. Keep texting him in. We've got Jason from Redwood Park on the line once our producers put him through.
Almost. Come on, Jason. Let's get him in.
Sorry, it's Bill.
Bill.
My bad.
Right, Bill.
Here we go. Bill,
Right,
good
Bill.
morning, mate. What were you fired for?
Yeah, mate. My mum passed away and had to wait for 7 days.
Yep.
Had to go back to work the next day, and I wanted a day off. So I was like, all right, I said to the boss, I'm having a day off for grievance. It's going to be this day. And he's like, well, if you go on the big day out, then you don't come back to work.
Really?
Oh, really? That's a bit rough, isn't it? That's stiff as.
So I was like,
you did go to big day out. You grieved and you didn't. Yeah, and you got fired.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to do what you got to do. You can't. I mean, you wouldn't want to work with someone like that anyway.
Yeah, Bill. You know what? You've got our sympathy. You've got a $50 voucher to Big Shots Cafe Brighton coming your way, Bill.
Oh, cheers, mate.
Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to AuscastNetwork.com for details.